I said something on a podcast recently that I've gotten some questions about, and that has led to some really amazing conversations. And so I figured I'd jot down some of the thoughts on this. On Manny Medina's podcast, he was interested in this idea that I had offhandedly mentioned to him ahead of the podcast about acting as if the universe is conspiring in your favor. And he was like, "Oh, I want to know more about that." I'm like, "I do too." I think it's at least three ideas that have orbited around in my life, kind of collapsing into one. The first is from a business angle. My co-founder now at Day AI, Mike Pici, introduced this idea to me of what he calls gravity. When Pici talks about gravity, he's talking with real humility about being at the right place at the right time. Are we successful in what we work on because of us, or because what we were working on was something that was inevitable and we happened to be lucky enough to be working on something that was inevitable? There is gravity to certain products. There is gravity to certain business models. They will be pulled in one direction and one direction only. And if that direction is success and you happen to be on for the ride, you know, lucky us. I think it's really right sized, which is a term we use a lot at work. It's a way to look at the reality of user feedback, customer feedback, to look at the reality of the business model and not try to fight it too much, but to try to work with it. You know, you can't really fight gravity. You can jump, but you're going to land. And so that has always stuck with me. I think about it every day. The second is an idea that was floated to me. I tend to be impatient. I tend to push things a little too hard. And some impatience in business can be a good thing, certainly, and productive. Too much patience can be harmful. This idea that was introduced to me of slowing down to let God catch up. I'm not particularly religious, but think of, slow down to let the universe catch up. Keep my mouth shut for a minute and see what evolves, see how the conversation flows. It could be literally in a meeting. We find ourselves wanting to interject and say, but. Just don't say it. Just wait, just listen. One of my favorite things about working with this group and the kinds of groups of people I like to work with is that there will be silence in meetings, sometimes long silence. We're so comfortable with the silence that at times one of us will be muted and we won't notice because the room being silent is not out of place. Somebody says something, we think. Slowing down to let the universe catch up and show us the next thing that's about to happen is really useful. It sounds really vague, but it's very practical. And it means, relax, listen. Don't say the next thing on your mind just because it's the next thing on your mind. Wait for something better. We solve a lot of problems on the team this way. We'll talk about them up until our point of understanding. We'll tease out a lot of the questions, and then we'll stop. And then time passes and we learn a bit more, and the universe shows us what it's trying to do. And this leads me to the third thing. There's a great Alan Watts talk. If you're not familiar with Alan Watts, boy, you're in for a treat. He has a talk called The Universe is Rearranging Itself in Your Favor. The whole thing is just gold and may change the way you see the world, will definitely change the way you see frustrations at work. I'll quote him directly here. The universe speaks through timing, through endings, through silence. When something leaves your life, it's not rejection, it's redirection. When something slows down, it's not punishment, it's preparation. The path you're walking isn't random. Every detour, every delay, every heartbreak is perfectly crafted to lead you back to yourself, to peel away everything false until only what's true remains. So if I take these ideas and pull them together into an attitude that I want to bring into every day, it is this idea of acting as though the universe is conspiring in our favor. Or said another way, I ask myself the question, what is the universe trying to do that I need to just let happen? What if it's not about me fighting for my thing, being stubborn and being impatient and grinding and just pushing through? There's a place for the hard work, but we can come at it from the other side and say, where does the gravity lead? And what is conspiring in our favor? What do I notice happening around me? Things that might feel defeating, challenging, frustrating, redirecting. If I have an attitude that those things are me bumping up against the bounds of what is trying to happen, and then I notice where that continues to go and ask myself the question, what can I do to speed that up? What can I do to be moving in that direction? It makes the work a lot lighter and it makes it a lot more satisfying. I'm not rebuilding a feature because I was wrong and people don't get it and people aren't paying enough attention to the microcopy on the button. It's like, no, we learned something. Let's go this way because we're going this way regardless. I can either go that way or I can fight it. So those are some more thoughts on this. I'll leave you with one more image from the Alan Watts talk, which you should definitely check out. Think about being a seed. And if you're a seed in the soil, you think you're done. You think you're cooked. It's just dark and you're surrounded by dirt. That's it. But what's about to happen? What's the universe trying to do that I just need to let happen?